Now we would like to explain about the women's roles in the Civil War. Why we chose this topic is because we wanted to know about what women back then take part in a war and about what roles they played. Women played many roles in the Civil War. They didn't sit idly by waiting for the men to come home from the battlefield. In the years before the Civil War, as men's work moved away from home into shops, offices, or factories, the household became a place for women devoted their lives to creating a clean, comfortable, nurturing home for their husbands and children. However, during the Civil War, American women turned their attention to the world outside the home. Thousands of women in the North and South joined volunteer brigades and signed up to work as nurses and aides, while others took a more upfront approach and secretly enlisted in the army or served as spies and smugglers. It was the first time in American history that women played a significant role in a war effort. Whatever their duties were, this new job redefined their traditional roles as housewives or mothers and made them an important part of the war effort. Now let's hear the explanation about each role.
Many women participated in war relief efforts such as sewing circles where they made clothing for soldiers, or they held charity drives where they gathered food, medical supplies and bedding for local military encampments and hospitals. Women also raised money through fundraisers and charity events such as the Sanitary Fair in Chicago in 1863. These fairs were held all around the country and raised funds for much needed medical supplies and equipment by auctioning of donated items. In 1861, at the urging of women activists, the government created the U.S. Sanitary Commission to supply Union troops with food, medicine, and supplies such as blankets and socks. They collected and distributed the supplies for the Union troops. They had the goal of sending each soldier one care package a month. Members of the commission also raised money for Union soldiers. They held sanitary fairs to gather supplies and funds for the troops. Volunteers raised more than $70,000 for Union troops at the Northwestern Soldiers Fair in Chicago in 1863. That was an enormous amount of money in 1863.
Many women wanted to take a more active role in the war effort, inspired by the work of Florence Nightingale and her fellow nurses in the Crimean War. They tried to find a way to work on the front lines. Nightingale's work cleared the path for middle and upper-class women to seek a nursing career as an acceptable lifestyle. Women played a significant role in the Civil War. They served in a variety of capacities, as trained professional nurses giving direct medical care, or as hospital administrators, or as attendants offering comfort. The nurses' work is for caring for sick and injured soldiers and keeping the rest for the Union troops healthy and safe, such as clean and bandage wounds, feed soldiers, provide treatment, and assist surgeons during operation and medical procedures such as amputation. Although the exact number is not known, between 5,000 and 10,000 women offered their services. For the first 2 years, the introduction of females into a male medical system was its own civil war.
Women soldiers. Even though women were forbidden to join the military at the time, over 400 women served as soldiers in the Civil War. A handful of these women even fought in many famous Civil War battles such as Gettysburg and Antietam. In order to enlist, these women disguised themselves as men and adopted masculine names. The women soldiers bound their breasts, cut their hair short, and spoke as little as possible to avoid being discovered. Women stood a smaller chance of being discovered than one might think. Women alike learned the ways of soldiering at the same pace. Some women in uniform were still discovered, often after being wounded in battle and sent to a field hospital. The discovered woman herself would usually be sent home without punishment. Women spy masters. Women spies usually gathered valuable military information by flirting with male soldiers at parties, dinners, or other social events. These women also smuggled supplies, ammunition, and medicine across enemy lines by hiding them underneath their large boob skirts.
The last topic that we're going to discuss is about slaves and freed women. Slave women were, of course, not free to contribute to the Union cause. Moreover, they had never had the luxury of true womanhood to begin with. As one historian pointed out, being a woman never saved a single female slave from hard labor, beatings, rape, family separation, and death. The Civil War promised freedom, but it also added to this women's burden. In addition to their own plantation and household labor, many slave women had to do the work of their husbands and partners too. The Confederate Army frequently impressed male slaves, and slave owners fleeing from Union troops often took their valuable male slaves, but not women and children with them. Working-class white women had a similar experience. While their husbands, fathers, and brothers fought in the army, they were left to provide for their families on their own.
That's all from us.
Thank you for watching.
And we hope you guys have learned something new from this video. Don't forget to like,
Comment and subscribe.